Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be training Oakley here and kind of explaining everything that's happened in about the past week or so. As most of you know, I owned the club named Fairy Agents on Chocolate Cupcake for about 10 months-ish. That has currently been transferred over to Cora Sharklight, who is also known as Knight. However, I also think that she's going by Nynx at some point. But I chose to do that on March 9th because, honestly, I got burnt out really bad. I stopped really liking doing dressage in around January. January is really when it started, and I really just thought, hey, maybe, this is just a phase I'll grow out of with being burnt out. The club has changed a lot since then. However, my passion for dressage definitely changed. I love doing dressage kind of now. I got that break I needed, but I also needed the change. That is definitely one of the biggest reasons. Burnout and needing the change were my two biggest reasons for choosing to actually disband technically. However, we didn't technically disband. I transferred the ownership of the club, and that was a big thing for me because, like I said, I put 10 months into this club because it made me happy, and guess what, it still does make me happy. I love seeing people around in the club because the club is still thriving without me, which I'm happy about because I'm happy that it didn't disband after I left because, like I said, I put 10 months into that club. That was my passion for 10 months. And I was happy to not see it go to waste in 10 seconds, if that makes sense. But what you might also know is whenever I left, I made a club that disbanded after a week. Now, I owned this with Ride for Tiny, who's also known as Jennifer Bunnyport, or Bunny, for, short, I guess. She had been in Fairy Agents in the beginning, left and joined a few times. We are good friends. We still are good friends, by the way. I have to clarify. But the club wasn't going how I really wanted it to, if that makes sense. I wanted to join a Christian club, or Bunny wanted to make a club. So we decided to make a Christian club. And in the beginning, it went great. We were growing. We thought this was going to, be our next 10-month club, longer than that. However, it really didn't turn out that way because it died off pretty quick, which I am upset that happened. However, I'm happy in a way that it did, not because, I wanted it to disband, but, so that I could join the Winners Collective, which I have been wanting to do this since a little bit after Fairy Agents was made, because, I really could have joined the Winners Collective instead of making Fairy Agents, which that is something that I thought about doing. However, whenever I made Flowerfuls a few months prior, which I still loved that club, and I still think about Flowerfuls a lot. What would have happened if I chose to just stay with Flowerfuls? Would it have become as big as Fairy Agents? Would it have died out quicker? Whatever. But honestly, I'm glad that I made Fairy Agents because I loved that club, and that club changed me for the better in a way, I guess. Very influential on me, and it got me through a lot. Club owning, I could just put myself into that more so than stuff that was going on in real life, where I needed that just break to just, be myself where, I needed to be myself. And I am thankful for that. It has been 10 months of owning that club, and I don't regret a second of it. Now let's talk about Jorvik Ponies division for a little bit, because, what happened to that? But, I realized that I don't think my passion was in for club owning at the moment, because I have been owning clubs on Star Stable since 2018, something like that. It was either early 2019 or late 2018, because that was always what I loved doing. I loved being a club owner. I loved owning clubs. I loved being the leader, which, guess what, I still love doing today. However, I'm happy to say that I've joined a club where I'm a member and not immediately a leader. And who knows, maybe in the future I'll become a leader. However, I am not, like, how do I explain it? I am trying to be comfortable where I am and just being a member. And I'm happy to be a member right now. And I don't think that will change anytime soon. Because the Winners Collective, there have been some people that have said things about this club, which was one of the reasons why I didn't choose to join immediately. However, I have been in this club for literally a weekend, and that's my home, that's my family of Star Stable. So, to put it simply, I will say, do not base your opinion on a club off of what other people say, because guess what? They can be wrong. I was definitely deceived in that way, because if you don't know who the Winners Collective is, and if, like, you're on a completely different server and you're just watching this video, by the way, thank you for watching. Big Christian club that does dressage, show jumping, western, all of the above. And that has been something that has been really exciting to me, because like I said, I lost passion for dressage, but I've realized I just didn't want to be an instructor anymore either. I just wanted to be a club member, which, guess what? People go through spurts. It's okay if you're in a club and you don't like the club anymore. You can let go of it. Like, it could have been, like, the thing that kept you happy for even, like, 3 years. Also, what is going on over here? Oh, that's a roleplay. We are running away. I do not want to be taking part in a roleplay right now, because I'm working on trading. So once we get up here, I'm probably just going to keep restarting the same race and just explaining more. I had a script for this video, by the way. I kind of just ditched the script. However, I'm kind of, like, looking at it for mental notes. So let's go back to talking about the burnout real quick. So if anyone who doesn't know, like, the definition of burnout, it is a state of complete mental, physical, and emotional exhaustion. To put it into simpler terms, I got exhausted with club owning. I love doing it. It was great. It was a great opportunity for me. But, like I said, people grow out of things, and I grew out of being a club owner, at the moment, at least. Or, I wouldn't say grown out of it. I definitely don't think it's where my heart is now. Like, honestly, I'm a very social person, and with club owning, you have to be kind of antisocial for a bit. And that's, or not really antisocial, but, like, you have to be okay with not talking to a bunch of people for a little bit, which that is something I did get used to when I made fairy agents. However, my priorities in that have definitely shifted. Like, being a club owner, it is one of the greatest experiences you can have in this game. Do not get me wrong. Oh my gosh, okay. Anyway, don't get me wrong on that. Like, it was great for me. It was great for the members. We all had fun. We had a good time. But once you lose passion for it, holding on to it, like, oh, it'll just magically come back. Guess what? Sometimes it won't. Sometimes it will. Don't get me wrong. Like, definitely if you're in a club where you're burnt out, don't immediately leave. Like, if it's happened, like, that day, wait maybe a week or two, and then see how you feel. I waited 2 months before deciding. And guess what? That's okay. Like, it may have seemed at the moment that I went really fast with choosing to disband. Or, I keep saying disband, like I didn't just transfer ownership over. But definitely do not, like, just immediately just disband. don't immediately leave literally the second that you feel unmotivated, because guess what? People feel unmotivated some days, but guess what? You do not have to disband immediately, because guess what? If you act too rushed into making your decision, you might regret it. I definitely have had moments like that where different clubs that I've been in could have gone a lot farther had I put in more effort and didn't get unmotivated, and the second I felt unmotivated, I just disbanded the club and got rid of it. That is not something you should do. However, I also struggled with a lot of motivational issues to play the game back in 2022. I think it was probably 2021, honestly. It was when everyone was getting really upset with Star Stable for a bunch of stuff, which I guess that really hasn't really changed. However, it was a lot worse back then, where it would be every video I would watch would be negative, and that's not good either. You need to be making sure that you're surrounding yourself with positive things. Let me use an analogy real quick. Let's say that there's this one thing that's cheaper that would really sure, it would give you some happiness, but in reality you would just become a lot more negative person. And there would be something that's more expensive, however it would make you more positive and make you happier for longer. I don't know if I'm making any sense with this, but go for the thing that makes you happier. For me, that was joining the Winners Collective. For you, it might be just choosing between one club and another, which is kind of what I did, but whatever. You're going to get unmotivated. It's bound to happen. You're gonna get unmotivated and you're gonna find something that also makes you happy or happier than that thing did. For me, that was dressage, making me a little unmotivated, and then discovering realistic roleplay like I did in 2022, 2021, which I really wish I still had photos of, because I was big in that and I loved doing it. And my passion for that has returned, and it stopped, I think, is what happened with me. That passion stopped for a while and it came back, and guess what? Now I do a lot of realistic roleplay, a lot more than I did when I was younger. So you can't just base something oh, I didn't like doing this a lot ago. I don't know what I'm saying. However, you cannot, okay, let me put this, you cannot base something that makes you happy or upset over something you did 3 years ago, because guess what? You're going to change. That's just what happens. For me, that was disbanding and joining the Winners Collective, which, by the way, don't believe the rumors. They are a great club. I think I've got Oakley to level 6 now. Bam, bam, bam. There we go. But, let me explain a little more, I guess. It was pretty much burnout. I thought that I just wanted to be in a Christian club, so I made Jorvik Ponies Division. It wasn't going how I wanted it to. I talked to Bunny. I then joined the Winners Collective, and I'm extremely happy. All of the members that I've met have been super sweet. I actually got to be in a dressage line for the first time in probably since last summer or something like that, because I would always be instructing because they would always need an instructor. So I was like, cool, I'll do it. And I also have to say that being in Fairy Agents, I was dependent on a lot because I was the owner. But that's not to say that the leaders and co-owners of the club weren't great. I've met some of my closest friends through Fairy Agents. My friend Adam was literally the first non-founder co-owner, because if you didn't know, Fairy Agents was actually started by 2 people, not just me. It was one of my friends, Kermit. We were pretty close. We were both in different clubs. I'm pretty sure she had joined Flower Foals a few times, but I wanted a fresh start. why did I say it like start? Like, okay, I don't know, am I becoming like, I don't know what accent that would be, but anyways, you sometimes just need a fresh start, and that's what I needed. And I'm forever thankful, like I said, for the time I had in Fairy Agents, and I really hope this isn't just becoming a ramble. But Yorvik Pony's division ended up disbanding maybe an hour after I left, which honestly I'm really sad about, but if it's what they wanted to do, like the other people, then that's what's going to happen. It's not like it was my choice to disband it. I was not the main owner. Technically, I was a co-owner. However, I think I'm kind of just rambling, so I'm just gonna end this video to here. Wait, no I'm not. Okay, one thing I also didn't mention in the Winners Collective, there are so many editors, and there are also so many realistic role players, which I did not expect. I knew SO Juno, who is a member, was like really big in realistic roleplay at some point. I don't know if they still do it. I will have to check. But great people that are in the club. Like, there's Blossom, Barry, who else? Sugar does it as well. Who else? Oh my gosh. Yeah, Blossom, let me look at my notes. Blossom, there's Belle, Sugar, Barry, and Emmy. Emmy also does it. I just filled that jump. But like I said, my passion is realistic roleplay, and I didn't expect it to be like I would find a bunch of realistic role players in the Winners Collective. I joined because Christian club that does a lot of stuff that I'm interested in. Whoop. Like, maybe there was going to be realistic roleplay added in the future, but that's not something that I was like counting on. And I've now found out that there's like a whole little like a group that is adding more, or that does realistic roleplay on YouTube, which I didn't realize. And then they're adding more realistic stuff into the club itself, which makes me really happy because like I said, absolutely love realistic roleplay, but I didn't expect to find anyone that also likes realistic roleplay. Because, like, I knew a few people on YouTube that did realistic roleplay, like Amelia Dreambell, and, like, they aren't in Winners Collective, all that, but I didn't expect it to be such a big community, I guess. Which, that's something that's made me really happy, because, like I said, I love it, and there went Mooney. Okay, like I said, I'm rambling. I'm gonna end this video to here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!